Jack, do a big intro!
Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's Bad the Bookers Wrestling Podcast. My name is Jack, and we've got Chris, Toast, and Matt with us. How is everyone doing tonight?
Doing well, mate.
Doing good, doing good. Hello.
Good, this is episode 96 we're going in, and Chris Benoit was framed.
Boom! I love it already! We're off to a great
We're
start
off to a banging start, let's do this! Yes.
Remember, this podcast is brought to you by Manscaped and Blue Chew. Get real hard and get it real trimmed. Boom.
Use the code BADBOOKERS Bluetooth.
We might lose our actual sponsor if we keep going this route. How's that TV, lads?
We'll still be happy, so it's fine. How are we all doing today?
We're still doing good, mate. How are you?
Have I already asked it?
Yes.
Yeah.
How are we all doing today?
Fiends.
You've been to the shores of gold lately.
Toast, what's up with you, mate?
I'm fucking fantastic, mate. Bouncing off walls over here.
I love in your hat.
Appreciate that, mate. Cheers.
Are you cold?
I'm cold / haven't shaved my head in the last 2-3 days, so that's when we wear hats.
Smoothman. Toast has been ill over the week.
Yeah, I've been dead all week. I'm recovered now, kinda.
What was it? What was it? Coronavirus, man flu. Big cold.
No, it was a legit flu. Like the missus had it about a week and a half before, and I took her down for 2 weeks.
So what you're saying is you're better than the missus?
I mean, I have a better immune system than her anyway. Like I rarely get sick, but this time it hit me hard. So I took a week off work, and I'm fine now.
Basically, Toast has been in the mud all week.
Pretty much, yeah. Shit myself everywhere. Bed sheets are covered in just shit. Looks like mud. It was like, have you ever seen Swamp Thing?
Oh,
But it looked like when I was trying to make it out of the bedroom as well.
Jesus Christ.
Should we crack on?
At least I could make it out of the fucking bed with the floor.
I'm keeping the piss, lads.
Absolute madland!
What the?
I believe you, Toast. All
Cheers.
right. Let's crack on with the news and whatnot. We've got a question from me. I forgot I did that. Brilliant. Nice one. Right. WrestleMania 37 will be hosted in LA again.
We're not in England, though, which makes me sad.
It'll never be in England, so don't go sad. It's going to be in Hollywood for the SoFi, which I don't think is built yet. Smooth would know. I haven't got the chat open, but it's going to be in the SoFi Stadium, which will be the home of the LA Rams and the LA Chargers of the NFL. I believe it's not done big built. Thoughts, Hollywood?
I mean, I'll be looking forward to the promos that lead up to it.
Miz better main event for the title, or it's pointless. Say it on Twitter, say it now. If Miz doesn't get a title match, it's fucking pointless.
Miz versus Hogan, surely.
I would love to pay for that.
With The Rock and John Cena on the undercard.
Yay.
Do you see The Rock's daughter landed in the Performance Center this week?
That was a good segue into the next bit of the news.
Yeah.
Boom! The news!
Simone? Is it Simone?
Simone,
yeah.
Simone Johnson, daughter of Big Daddy Dwayne, as I put it.
You know they're going to call her the Pebble. Like,
Pebble.
Morrow's going to call her the Pebble when she's in NXT. It's a cert. That's one of her nicknames he gives her.
God.
It's going to happen. Like, he just gives fucking nicknames to people that don't need extra nicknames. It's going to happen. It won't be an official nickname, but he'll call her the fucking Pebble, and I'll be like, Morrow, die, please. Not actually, but like, on her career, just move aside.
Toast for NXT commentator.
No, please, God, no.
New career.
Wouldn't be able to watch AEW then. Fuck that.
According to Sportskeeda, WWE are going to offer the Revival one last massive offer, which will be £1 million each.
And they'll be turned down.
Yeah, they'll turn it down.
We'll match or beat whatever they offer.
Apparently, the reports were saying that they were getting fed up with the Revival. I'm pretty sure the Revival were pretty fed up of you before.
Yes.
Cody Rhodes has revealed that a secondary belt is on the table, but don't expect anything soon. So I can't remember who said it. Someone said, I think Cody had said it before, that there definitely won't be a secondary title.
Yeah, I said they were going to bring one in, and I think Matt or someone told me they definitely wouldn't because they said it. But it was always going to happen. The company, they're making that second show, so they need to have like a mid-card title that you can throw like Kip and Joey Janela and those boys at and build them with. So
I think in this, it might be in the same interview, it might have been a different one. Cody said that they're trying to work out what would be best to come first, like a women's tag title, like a IC belt. Use that as an example.
I'll
like
be honest,
something like that.
I don't think they need to even consider a women's tag belt until they get better women.
WWE didn't need a women's tag belt, so yeah, they definitely don't need one. Just to confirm what I said, I didn't say there definitely wouldn't be one. I said Cody Rhodes said there definitely wouldn't be one. That's what I said in the previous podcast.
I wasn't attacking you.
Right. In an interview with Sports Illustrated, current UFC light heavyweight champion John Jones has stated that it's inevitable that he will join WWE.
Yeah, because he's too shit for UFC. Did any of you watch that fucking fight?
I don't tend to.
He basically ran away from your man and then done a couple of wee shit takedowns that he jumped back up from. Like, Jones is going to get fucking smashed the next time he fights an actual fighter.
Well, he's the champion, so it's because he hasn't got Cormier to scrap.
Pretty much. Cormier was the closest thing. And your guy, Gustafsson, was quite good against him as well.
What's happened to Cormier? What, is he injured or something?
Cormier retired, didn't he?
Because I know, isn't he a massive Seth Rollins mark?
Cormier they were talking about bringing him into Fox to do SmackDown commentary at one point, weren't they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he retired.
WWE nerd.
Yeah.
I think they because he said he was going to retire, and then they tried to keep him on because obviously the whole Brock going in the cage to face off with him, and then it came out that Brock wanted more money and stayed with the E, and then Cormier was like, fuck off, I'm retiring.
Yeah, so if you remember at WrestleMania last year, I'm pretty sure I booked Daniel Cormier versus Brock Lesnar in the main event.
It's possible.
I can't
I can't remember that far back.
I definitely did.
It's not the last bit of news, but it's the last bit of news on the spreadsheet because the admin hasn't updated it. What a snake. According to WrestleVotes on Twitter, Jushin Thunder Liger and the Bella Twins will be inducted into this year's Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Each thoughts for Jushin and for the Bella Twins.
Are they going in as a threesome? As like a
So the Bella Twins will be going in as a duo. And obviously, Jushin Thunder Liger will be inducting them. So,
is this because they need a tag team to face Asuka and Kairi Sane at Mania? Therefore, they're going to induct them, and then the Bella Twins will fight them at Mania for the tag titles.
Please, God, don't put Bray in the ring ever.
They are both pregnant at the moment.
Yeah. I would say
okay, then they won't be doing that.
Liger deserves to be in any wrestling Hall of Fame. I know he didn't do much in WWE. He was in WCW, which technically they cover now as part of theirs.
Didn't he wrestle Breeze on NXT or something random like that? Completely out of the blue.
One NXT match. He deserves to go in. The Bellas, I'm going to be controversial and say they probably deserve it based off the success they've had with the Total Divas bullshit.
Yeah. No,
they've launched WWE's reality TV set on their own and held it up. Basically, they were Total Divas and then they're Total Bellas.
Total Bellas, yeah.
So they've done that. Nikki was like decent in the ring at the time where there wasn't a lot of like standout performances. It's not like what it is now where you have a load of good talented women. Nikki was sort of about it was basically her AJ Lee at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean there was her, AJ Lee and Caitlyn were the only ones who were actually any good in the ring. And obviously Nikki had that horrific injury and then came back and was still better than Brie in the ring. So plus your man's banging their man. What do you call him? Oh, he's like one of Vince's right hand men.
John Cena?
No, Johnny Ace is banging their man.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Like stepdad, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like their stepdad now. They might be married to him or something. I don't know. But there you go.
It's
so
a bit
why not?
weird though, isn't it?
Yeah, as much as people don't want to talk about it, Evolution as a pay-per-view only sold out their tickets because Nikki Bella was announced. They'd sold like less than a quarter of the tickets in the weeks leading up to it. And then when Nikki Bella was announced to be fighting Rousey, it sold out within like 16 hours. Because of the Total Divas thing, they're a massive draw. So they have to go in eventually, as much as I don't really care about them.
They were there when the women's revolution happened. So good. A toaster will probably know a bit more about this man. It's a bit of a touchy subject, but we have to talk about it. Teddy Hart being arrested for drug smuggling, essentially.
Teddy Hart is a really good wrestler. Like he was signed to WWE when he was 18. He's like Bret Hart's nephew. So he's in the high flyer, but he'll forever be known as the eternal fuck up.
He's in the new Hart Foundation with Pillman and David Boy Smith Jr. So,
do you remember when WWE brought the new Hart Foundation out and it was Harry Smith, fucking TJ Wilson, and Natalia? Teddy was supposed to be the leader, but he fucked up again with his attitude and stuff backstage. He's always had a really entitled attitude, according to any interviews I've heard, where he thinks the world should be sucking his fat toe because he's a Hart and he's like a direct bloodline from the Harts. WWE have sacked him, I think, 3 times. I think they've hired him on 3 different occasions and sacked him due to attitude issues and stuff like that. MLW sacked him about 2 months ago because of attitude issues and stuff.
That was the last I heard about him because he was their top champ, wasn't he?
He was doing really well. I don't think he had the top strap. I think your man, what do you call him, the MMA fighter, Lawler. I think he had it for a long time. Teddy was there, though. He was doing really well. Him, Pillman Jr. and Harry Smith were doing really well. And then MLW sort of swept it under the rug, got rid of him. Apparently he had done like a ruckus at a hotel or something, and they just went, fuck that. And now he's been caught trying to smuggle, I think it's a load of grass, isn't it? He's getting done with like intent for distribution and stuff.
So he's on charges of possession
allegedly
of schedule-free narcotic with intent to sell or distribute.
There you go.
So I think schedule-free narcotic is steroids, I think.
Bloody Nora. Not good.
I think. But yeah, I mean, he's one of the Hart family. He's a big, I'd say a big name in wrestling. He's a Hart.
Yeah.
That's an instantly a big name in wrestling. And he's in the mud.
He broke in with like Jack Evans from AEW whenever he was like the big indie sensation. That's when Teddy Hart was banging about in the indies. He was supposed to be class, and then he just never made it, unfortunately.
Good. I'm trying to find the next bit of news. I'm trying to see what's interesting. Jim Ross wants to sign Nick Aldis. Decent signing.
Are we taking this off Jim Ross's podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. So JR had a segment on his podcast where he was talking about, he mentioned Jeff Cobb and Lance Archer as 2 great big men. He didn't mention Brian Cage, which was interesting. He mentioned Lance Archer, Jeff Cobb, and then Brody Lee / whatever he called him in WWE, I forget. Luke Harper, there you go. And then he said that any company in the world would be lucky to have Nick Aldis. If he was available, I'd sign him immediately.
Well, he's a big lad. He can talk. He can wrestle.
I think that's what he was getting more at, the fact that he can wrestle, he can handle himself, and I think he was having pops at WWE because WWE have refused in the past to sign all this. It's just, I think Trips doesn't like him or something, and anytime he gets near getting a tryout, they won't sign him, despite his wife working up there. Obviously, he's married to Mickie James.
I mean, she's doing loads, isn't she? Kathy Kelly is leaving after Takeover. She was quite good at her job. I quite like Kathy Kelly.
Any idea why? Was there some sort of official?
I think, judging by her statement on Twitter, the little standard iPhone notes statement, it literally a change of scenery.
It must be a ridiculous schedule. If you're not a wrestling fan, or you're not sort of like a fully into.
Well, she was NXT's
she
main
was NXT
one,
though,
so it's not. It wasn't exactly. So she was occasionally on main roster, I think.
Yeah, but you got to remember.
She was rumored to be dating Dream, like Velveteen Dream.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the big rumor. So I don't know. Maybe it's all speculation. Like maybe they've split up and she just doesn't want to work there anymore.
You've got to remember that their contract with Full Sail runs up next month, and we don't know what's happening after that. Because obviously, I'm in Florida in May, but there's no tickets out for after March at the moment. So nobody knows what's happening, whether they're going to re-sign with Full Sail, whether they're going to start moving around. If she's heard backstage that they are going to start moving around, maybe that's a reason for her to decide that actually, I don't want to travel around the States and have to fly over to all these overseas stuff if NXT is not going to be here week to week.
But yeah, I quite liked her, but she's leaving, unfortunately. Matt Hardy has turned down another deal with the WWE. and he will be on Monday Night Raw, despite being
PCO has offered him a ROH World Championship match.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he went to Ring of Honor. You know, he has a big...
For a bit, and then
Ring of
over to
Honor.
AEW eventually, I reckon.
But how long's a bit? Because he's supposed to be big Dark Order man, isn't he?
Yeah,
How
that
long
needs
can
paying
you-
off. Yeah,
I think that's going to be Christopher Daniels or one of the guys already on the roster. I don't think they're giving it to someone that's head.
I think they're telegraphing too much that it is Daniels for it to actually be Daniels. Like the way that they're running the angles at the moment.
Sort of like
it feels a bit
Kazarian
too
or something.
much. I don't know who it would be, but I think because there's a lot of internet rumors about it being Daniels, I think they're playing into that, but I don't think that'll be the
Give it
end.
to Darby Allin. Fucking completely throw people off. Just Darby Allin as a Jungle Boy.
Jimmy Havoc. Give it Havoc.
Jimmy Havoc's not. We covered this last week, Nick, but Havoc's not going to be anywhere near.
Not till like
proper
May, June
storylines
time.
until he's done with them as well.
One minor little bit of news from the Melt. Tito Ortiz has been training at the WWE PC. He's been there a week, and he's heard great things about his work ethic and enthusiasm. So there we go.
He was former TNA, wasn't he? Like he did things with them, I think. I'm pretty sure they had Tito Ortiz come out to challenge Aces and Eights at some point. Like yeah.
Was it?
Unless I'm completely wrong, I'm looking at what Kemps is saying, but I know he beat Alberto Del Rio in an MMA match recently, didn't he?
He absolutely annihilated Del Rio. Whatever his name is.
Maybe WWE will just book him against Cain Velasquez to try and promote Cain so that Brock can beat him again. I don't know.
That's why I don't know who he is. He's an MMA fighter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've just seen someone with Declan shouting Marco Stunt for leader of Dark Order.
Could be. Why not?
Why in the world not? Tenea Conti is back in a house show for NXT and has recently
with a shirt that says released.
Yeah, I am released, and then she's turned up with a shirt with released on. Fucking stupid. Fuck off. Get out of NXT. She can't wrestle, and she's clearly got no personality. Fuck off.
Because she's got a lot of personality. She's trying to poke fun at it. Wrestling she's got a black belt in something. That's all I know about.
She's also going to be
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
key for their Brazilian demographic, which is another one of the markets Vince is trying to
Latina.
Then just whack somebody else.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not going to whack someone else. That would be
Moving on.
big bad. Yeah, I think that's all the news.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All the news of any decent MLW are fuming with WWE about something, but I don't really care.
Yeah, it's basically it goes back to contract tampering from 2018, so there's not much news to it other than sources have released that MLW have over 200 documents that prove WWE were doing contract tampering and they could swing that hammer at them at any point.
Oh yeah, I read a little bit about it.
MLW are fuming.
Yeah,
Absolutely fuming.
fucking iffy, isn't it? WWE doing things that are a bit iffy. Shock horror.
No.
The concern, the big concern is that if MLW go after him for that, the reason WWE will try and settle is that it brings in the dispute, the legitimacy of WWE's contracts.
Yeah.
And it would mean that like independent contractors could literally go, fuck you, I'm out, and just walk out without like the 90-day release clause and shit. So WWE are trying their hardest to sort of keep away from court cases with their contracts, because as soon as there's legal standing for their contracts to be disputed and opened up and looked into the legitimacy of it, it comes into like union and workers' rights and stuff, and it could cause fuckloads of issues for WWE down the line. They'd have to pay like medical insurance and pensions and stuff for their workers rather than the way Vince runs it at the minute.
Then it brings in the old, should the WWE be unionized or wrestlers be unionized? So it brings in that debate.
It would open a massive can of worms, and I think WWE will do everything they can to keep it away.
Yeah.
Try and keep it as private as possible.
Yep.
She probably should do in terms of contracts. But there you go. Right, should we jump into the actual wrestles? Big wrestles. I watched Raw this week.
Did you enjoy it?
I thought it was pretty decent. We got to talk about Raw.
Okay.
Either way. Because big
Trash.
Shayna Baszler did bite
Oh yeah, that yeah.
Shayna Baszler is a vampire.
I mean, she's not, but
she bit someone on the neck. How is that not making you a vampire?
It's a way to introduce yourself.
It just makes you an aggressive lover, Matt.
Passionate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was no consent there. There was no consent there, so that's rape.
No.
If those are your options. You're either saying it's to do with her being her lover, in which case that was rape, or alternatively, she's a vampire.
Wow. Who would have thought those would be options? Vampire or criminal? No.
I'll be honest, it doesn't bother me. Like, I know there was a big kick up, and I know Matt really hates it.
Made me laugh.
It didn't bother me. It looks stupid as fuck because she clearly bit a blood capsule in her mouth, which is the only way to pull it off, obviously. I don't think the segment needed it necessarily, but I'm not that fussed by it.
It didn't. Why does Shayna Baszler's already a badass? She's already got a win over Becky. She's already proven herself to main roster people in the build-up to Survivor Series. Why do you need to try and make her look like more of a badass by making her bite Becky Lynch on the neck?
Because, like, what is it? Like
80%
of the people that watch main roster don't watch NXT.
But she was on the main roster 4 times in the build-up to Survivor Series.
Who gives a fuck?
That doesn't
Honestly,
count.
4
really.
times? Like,
she's proven herself as a badass up there already. She doesn't need to bite a blood capsule to make people look at her as a legitimate badass. If they just had her absolutely murder people like they have done on NXT in the past, we wouldn't need any of this.
And absolutely murder their champion?
No, have her murder 2 people in the build-up to this fucking... If is it Bailey that's fighting at Saudi, or is it
they would go... Bailey and Carmella were going to have a match at Saudi for the title. That mysteriously got scrapped, so it happens on SmackDown.
Ah, right, okay. So in that case, it's going to be an elimination chamber, isn't it? But you've got time to build Shayna as a legitimate, like, badass. Before then, you don't need to have her biting blood capsules.
As long as it's not something they repeat, I've got no real concerns with it.
I want her to come out with guys Christian next week.
Okay, no.
It will probably be a promo next week from Shayna saying, I took something from Becky from her neck and now I'm going to take her title. Blah, blah, blah.
Lols. Did it for the bants.
What else happens? Matt Hardy defended the guy who stole his missus.
I got big
and then got battered.
Big concerto. RKO death.
I'm trying to think what else happened.
You're right, Dak. I forgot. Gangrel is now back in ROH. Completely forgot about that.
Becky versus Asuka. Street Profits and
Becky
Mojo.
versus Asuka was really good.
Yeah, so Becky
really liked that.
That was the intro to the Baszler segment.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good match from what I've heard.
Drew McIntyre decapitated MVP, who's back apparently for whatever reason.
Sarah Logan died for Rhea Ripley's sins.
Yeah, so
Ricochet versus Bobby was really good. I really enjoyed that.
MVP is back because they're highlighting all of the Ruthless Aggression era people because Cody knows them all and Vince McMahon is a paranoid wanker who doesn't want anybody going to AEW.
Or because MVP's working backstage now as an agent and they asked him to come out
and he got that contract because Vince is scared of MVP.
He got that contract because Paul Heyman loves him.
I disagree. I think he got that
Plus
contract.
MVP and Drew have a bit of history together, so it makes sense. Ricochet versus Bobby Lashley was decent. That was a follow-on to beating Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins last week.
Yes.
Like I said, Randy Orton, Conchetta, Matt Hardy, and then 8-man tag to finish the night.
I mean, Aleister Black and Tozawa, but that don't really count.
Tozawa,
died.
Big jobber, but he jobs very well. He's a good hand.
Don't say that to Sean Spears.
Oh no.
He will be fuming.
Yes, WWE's Network show about Ruthless Aggression. I'm looking forward to watching that. That's tonight, I think.
I think it's after TakeOver.
After TakeOver. That looks really interesting.
I forgot it was TakeOver tonight. Can't watch it. Fuming.
Everyone forgot TakeOver was the night because this week's episode of NXT was shit and was not a build-up to TakeOver.
Go-home shows are always shit.
No, go-home shows are supposed to build excitement and make me think, oh yes, I'll watch that.
There hasn't been a good go-home show.
This week's go-home show had, by the way, you know the main feud we've been highlighting the last 2 weeks? It's on next week's NXT.
Yes.
But we'll talk about SmackDown first. Go for it.
I have not watched SmackDown, so I have no idea what happened.
I seen one thing that apparently Bray Wyatt interrupted Hogan And then I went, why is Hogan on SmackDown? What?
Because Saudi Arabia's coming up and he's
the Saudi fuck money. I completely.
Yeah.
Are they doing Team Rick versus Team Hogan this Saudi, or was that last Saudi?
No, that was last Saudi.
Saudi.
We've got a big cup. It's not called the Best in the World Cup or the World Cup or whatever.
We just call it the Big Cup.
But Batista's coming back for this big cup in Saudi Arabia.
Batista's retired though.
Yeah, he's already not retired anymore. It's been released by like. I think there's like 8 or 9 sources on the internet are all saying that Batista's coming out of retirement for this.
What are we laying on to Kevin Nash appearing then? Because he recently came back from stem cell surgery as well. He's going to appear, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, Big Daddy Diesel. Hong Kong!
Blow them.
As it is takeover later, we'll do AEW first.
Just before we do, have we
not
talked about
SmackDown, or are we just not? You just skip the SmackDown?
Oh, I haven't watched it, so I don't know if anything good happened.
Sweet. Yeah, that's
I was hoping by now someone would have said something good, but they haven't.
Have we all seen the WWE accidentally leaked the lineup for Elimination Chamber?
Oh no, that's not WWE. That's just arenas. They always do that.
Yeah.
It was on an advert in SmackDown.
Yeah. Oh no, it's on an advert just in one place, where NXT is, where Elimination Chamber is.
Regional
it's
news.
The arena being knobheads.
Yeah.
Because they always try and sell tickets by now.
Oh yes, Otis happened on SmackDown, didn't he? Poor Otis.
Oh, big Otis, big cry.
Why would you put Bobby Roode in the Elimination Chamber if you were trying to sell it?
Cannon fodder.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Roman's winning anyway.
Literal cannon fodder.
Is there going to be 2 Elimination Chamber matches? Or?
No, there's only one. I think it's only one for. I think the Elimination Chamber's only for SmackDown.
There will probably be 2 because they'll need a woman's title challenger, and they'll probably do that. There's always, for the last 10 years, there've been 2.
The last 10 years, it's pushing it a bit.
Oh right, the last 5 years. I've only been watching it for 3 years. So
I think there's only been 5. I think 5 years still pushing it. I can't remember. I'm trying to find, Bloody, I'm trying to find a report for this week's NXT because I haven't watched that either. I've watched the highlights. I can't find.
Type in Bleacher Report NXT, and
I did that, and it's not the
this
up to date.
Podcast brought to you by the Bleacher Report, Manscaped, and Blue Chew. Get the dick real hard, trim it down, and read about some sports.
Right.
I've got the AEW one, Perfecto. That came up well. NXT, they're clearly trying to hide it.
Vamp.
Go on, then. Big. Right. Here we go. Val Venus did Big Naughty talk.
Oh God, I don't want to talk about it.
No.
Tough. You're vamping while I'm looking.
The best part about that.
Give it to Matt.
You look at Nyla Rose's Twitter, and she put a tweet out which was Xbox noise in quotation marks, and then it was just a photo where she photoshopped an Xbox 360 achievement that was 1000G, make Val Venus relevant on the internet again.
Yes,
which
fantastic,
was fucking brilliant. A brilliant response.
Has he been made relevant? I don't think anyone cares still.
Yeah,
I think one of the cracking tweets I read about it was a guy, Eric Stevens, who's like an indie wrestler, wrote Val Venus should focus on trying to be an employed wrestler. Never mind whatever he had said. Obviously, he hasn't been working anywhere for years.
Yeah, so he firstly he kicked off that Nyla had won the title, and then he started kicking off about Tessa Blanchard being in the men's division, and WWE removing the word women's from the NXT title.
No, right. If we're talking about it, he posts. By the way, the NXT have now called the Back Blow Women's title this week, so their whole removing the women's lasted a fucking week. But with Val Venus, he posted a picture of a Great Dane and was like, I now identify as a Great Dane. I'm going to enter the whatever dog show and win XL dog competition. And he's literally one of those guys. I bet this is all brought on because he once got hard while looking at a dick in porn. And he secretly thinks dicks are delicious, so now everything that's not fucking straightened down the road for him, he's completely against.
There we go. Right. Let's jump into AEW. And I watched it in full. like you usually do. I usually alternate between NXT and AEW weekly. So
my one
only
issue was when I was watching it live, it went down for 3 minutes during the Nyla.
I've heard that. For many people, I think there was the
Yeah.
whole of Fight TV.
Yeah, the whole of Fight TV lost their footage for 3 minutes. I think it was during an ad break because it didn't disrupt the flow of the TV broadcast.
That's lucky. Then.
But I think what caused it was Nyla fucked Riho into the camera. And it caused an outage during the ad break. And then when they came back, they just kind of kept going. It didn't really miss much. Like,
I can't remember who kicked off the night. I remember the first match. Did anything kick off the night?
I think it went straight into the first match, didn't it? I mean, to be honest, I watched broken down highlights of AEW. I just didn't have the time.
Bleacher Report while you're there, Jack, and just look at the fucking.
No, I've got it up.
There,
the only one.
There wasn't an intro segment.
It was. Yeah, I think I was because I was only trying to remember whether there was, but we went straight into SCU versus Omega and Hangman for the tag team titles, and I thought it was a very good match, and I really liked the ending. With the was it the ending? Was the ending of this match with the Kazarian grabbing the ropes? Was that one?
Yeah, the start was the Dark Order, but where like they obviously flicked up on the screen.
Oh yeah,
then Daniels goes, "I'm gonna go sort this out," and ran backstage. So I thought that was a nice touch because it got obviously Daniels being ringside gives them an advantage, even if they are face. They still have someone at the ringside sort of distracting stuff, and him leaving gives them an excuse for they can come back and go, "Oh, CD was distracted and shit like that."
Yeah, and it also pays into the whole internet saying that Chris Daniels is the leader of the Dark Order.
Yeah.
If he fucks off and then they turn up and he doesn't come back.
Yeah.
It's almost too obvious now, isn't it? For it to be that's what they're going to do.
That's why I don't think it'll be him eventually. But they might it would make storyline sense if it was him. It would also make sense for that to be a swerve. So, they can still go either way with it.
But Omega and Hangman, they retained the titles even.
Omega and who?
Omega and Hangman.
All right, because you called them Hangbang there. And I was
Hangman, that could be their name.
Hangbang.
Kenny Hangman has retained the title.
Kenny Hangman?
SCU will get another shot at it, surely, because of all the shit.
I don't think so. I think unless they win that thing that's on next week, the big cluster.
Obviously, after the match, all the tag teams in AEW came down. So we had Dark Order, the Flippy Boys, what they called the Hybrids?
Hybrid 2, yeah.
Butcher and the Blades, Best Friends, and the Young Bucks, which Jim Ross called the Bucks of Youth, which was very...
A Matt Hardy reference?
Yes, it was indeed.
And they all did their... We got a match coming up, so we better stare each other down.
Well, right, so one of the things I'll say that AEW's been doing recently, and they're doing it really well, is they're promoting the matches on the next couple of weeks' cards really early. And they're letting you know what's going in. Like, I knew going into this week, I think 3 or 4 of the matches going into this week's NXT, I don't think I knew any of them. Like, and I think that might be one of the things that's helping draw eyes to them, and they're slightly beating NXT.
You know what's coming up, yeah.
Yeah, so you know what you're getting. You knew this week you were getting Hangman and Omega against SCU, which was good. You knew you were getting, I think the Santana Ambrose match or Santana Moxley match was advertised.
It was.
There was a couple of other things advertised. The Riho fucking thingy match was advertised as well. So you knew you were getting those going, and you knew they were going to be on the card, and it looks like a solid card. Whereas with NXT, sorry to keep jumping between AEW and NXT, but NXT haven't done that for a while. Like, other than like next week they've advertised a match, but there's not that consistency of what you're going to get with NXT, and I think it's helping to draw eyes towards AEW.
The difference is AEW are advertising it on their own show the week before. NXT write a report and do like an NXT a WWE exclusive like 2 days before to announce the matches. Well, and nobody's going to go out of their way to watch all that shit. Whereas if they say on the week before, like we know that Roddy Strong is fighting Velveteen Dream next week because that was said on NXT. Yeah. I'm not going to go out of my way to go on WWE.com to find out what the matches are 2 days before NXT. I'm just going to watch NXT.
I'm curious.
What I'd compare that to, that's similar to like when AEW, they don't do it as much now, but when they were expecting people to watch BTE to know what the storylines are going, it's expecting someone to go out and watch or read additional content to know what's happening next week. Whereas now AEW are just like, here's all our matches, it's up to you.
Well, that's always been WWE's problem because they've had so many shows going on that they expected you to see them all.
I'm curious. I wonder if AEW actually do run adverts on TNT or run adverts on TV often to advertise when the matches are coming up in comparison to WWE. Because I don't think WWE do that at all.
TNT advertise AEW during like their basketball games and sporting events, stuff where there's potential for crossover fans.
I think the Young Bucks were at a basketball game on TNT, weren't they, recently?
Yeah, and they super kicked the mascot or something. So,
and if you ever watched a YouTube video ever on YouTube about wrestling, or every single advert you get is the fucking AEW one.
Yeah.
Smoothman said in the chat, do you think NXT numbers are low because people think I'd rather watch AEW and catch NXT on the network after? Smoothman, you're a weird question. Do you think NXT numbers are low in quotation marks?
There's only 70k in it this week, by the way.
I agree with what Smoothman said. I do think that could come in.
I think it's easier to do that, isn't it?
So unless you're watching on Fight, getting AEW on demand is pretty hard. You'd have to record it or find a rerun, whereas most people have the WWE Network, even if you don't use it other than when a takeover or the Royal Rumble pops up. I know I still have it, and basically it's every time a pay-per-view comes on, I fancy watching, I'll throw it on. It's the only reason I still have it.
Yeah, we should have talked about this in the news, but have we seen that the pay-per-views are going off the network?
As soon as they do, I will cancel my network.
What?
I don't think they are. I think
Vince
that was a clickbait.
Vince McMahon has said in their end of year performance call thing that they are looking to ship off pay-per-views to an external third party.
That doesn't mean they're going off.
They're looking into it to increase the profits. I think that's a reactionary statement to the fact they lost $400 million. They made the big loss, sacked their 2 CEOs or whatever they were.
Yeah, CFOs.
Yeah, and then their stock plummeted $400 million in value overall. I think personally that's a reactionary statement from Vince to try and get people back on side. Look, we're going to look into making pay-per-view money again. In reality, Vince is too smart a businessman to know that he can't physically sell 12 pay-per-views a year.
But you can't.
Not in this market. WWE does not produce good enough wrestling and storytelling to sell to the quantity they would need.
No, I agree. It's they put all their eggs in one basket with the network because this is what this goes even far back to the fucking Punk podcast where he's having to go around asking, so when the network kicks in, how are all the boys going to get paid? Because obviously the guys who were on the card got a bit more money depending or got a share of the revenue from the pay-per-view. So you'd have to break into that whole model again, which would be significantly less than what they get now because the numbers are going to be horrifically low if they go down the pay-per-view route. And there's no way it would work. They were pioneers in a network thing. We can rip the network as much as we like, but the fact is, it was a fucking good thing. It still is a good thing for $10 a month. It's not terrible content at all. And you got your archives and all that sort of jazz as well. So I can't see it happening. Maybe you're right, Toast, in the sense that it was just to shit everyone up a little bit, I guess. Selling the big four and keeping the rest. I mean, no. That's the almost the USP of it just gone. Personally.
I think as soon as they sell any of the pay-per-views off, those pay-per-views, the views on them will drop like fuck. Nobody will go watch them. I'm not going to go and buy a WWE pay-per-view again. I pay £10 a month. If they get £120 a month a year off me, if I cancel my network, that's it. I just won't pay.
Unless they do a tiered system where you have an additional tier. Because I know that they were thinking of doing this because they were doing surveys about this ages ago. Where
they were going to raise it to 15 to put indie stuff on, weren't they?
Oh, there was that, and also you could in theory have like, okay, you pay $20 and you get the big four, $5 and you get the you get like some of them and some access to some of the back catalogue, and basically just make it like a tiered system. I mean, in theory it would work, but it's hard to say, really, isn't it? 10 a month is constant revenue, as Swithin said in the chat. That's true, but then the numbers are fluctuating so much at the minute from the network use. It's not really constant revenue stream though, because some months people just let it go out and some people don't bother. I've just dropped something.
Fair enough.
Let's get back on track. AEW. How are we talking about the network when it's AEW? Fucking
because AEW needs to be on the WWE network.
There we go.
Yeah.
Fucking what's his face?
Segue.
Vince Russo. AEW and WWE are working together. Love to see it. Next match was Dustin Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara. Now, I liked the match. I thought the match was okay.
I don't agree with Dustin getting a win
Yeah,
back in Sammy. There's no need for it, other than
Weird.
at the end of the match they announced that Dustin's going to take on Jack Hager at the pay-per-view, which will be Jack's in-ring debut. That's the only reason for giving Dustin that win.
I understand why Dustin was there because it's his hometown, so it makes sense in that sense. But Sammy Guevara is supposed to be a big future boy, like big future heel boy.
Yeah, but you give Sammy a couple of wins again. No one's going to be talking about the time he lost the
But then you got to look at this like because obviously WWE would do this with, that's good, that's great. He's beaten a big star like Matt Hardy, but then when Matt Hardy loses a constant, it loses its effect. So if Dustin's winning occasionally and then people beat him, it still keeps that aura of wow, he's beaten a massive name there.
Yeah.
So it's weird to do
Sammy's
it
fine.
to do what's his face Hager, but I'm sure Sammy Guevara would be okay after this.
I'm getting concerned about this AEW pay-per-view. The thing that excites me about things like Takeover is that they're going to be 2.5, 3 hours max. This AEW pay-per-view has got 8 or 9 matches on it already. It's starting to feel like
I think there's only 2 confirmed, isn't there?
Yeah, but there's you've got
storyline wise, they
MJF. Yeah, there must be at least 3 because you've got MJF versus Cody. You've got Swagger versus.
There's 4 announced.
Hager versus Goldust. What are the other 2? John Moxley versus Chris
Jericho, Moxley, MJF, Cody, Page and Omega versus the Battle Royale winner.
Yeah.
And Hager versus Rhodes.
Yeah, but there's no way that Dustin Rhodes gets a match on there if there's not going to be a load of flippy stuff to counteract that.
So they said already after one of the first pay-per-views that they're going to cap it between 3.5 and 4 hours is what they're going to cap all their pay-per-views to. They're not going to run it longer because I think one of them was 4.5. One of the first few that they were doing, I think it was before they got TV. But they came out afterwards and said they were going to cap it between 3.5 and 4 hours, which is probably the perfect length for one of those pay-per-views.
Yeah, because Takeover's around 3.5 hours most times, isn't it?
Yeah.
No more towards the 3 hour mark. So yeah, and Takeover's always really good. So if they can keep it to that length,
yeah, as long as it's under 4.5 hours, I don't mind. I'm fed up with the WWE stretched out, boring pay-per-views of like utterly pointless matches. Like I get that Jack Swagger versus Goldust sort of feeds into the storyline, but at the same time, I really don't care. That
match is 100% for Goldust to sort of help get Swagger's rust off, because obviously Swagger hasn't wrestled in fucking a year, maybe longer. Dustin is a veteran and he did that in WWE for years. Like, he was wrestling the younger guys.
Carry anyone.
Guys that are coming back. That's all it's going to be. He carried him a sort of half-decent match. Hager will win.
Don't think it'll be a match.
And fight. I think it will. I think it'll be like a brawl, sort of hardcore slap about for 5-10 minutes and then
Hager will kill him. Yeah, Hager.
I think it'll be. I personally think it'll be a minute squash. Hager's going to absolutely destroy him.
They're not going to bury him in a minute because he has to not eventually, but down the line in the next couple of months he'll be tagging with Cody again. They won't bury him in a minute. It'll be like a 5-10 minute fucking.
I don't think it's burying. I think it's Hager being big boy.
No, it's not. It's solidifying Hager as a bastard.
And putting Dustin as, more backstage role, which he's doing.
Fair enough.
But I think because they need Hager to be the big MMA boy. Not.
Yeah, I suppose.
Let's move on. Britt Baker. Last week I shut on Britt Baker saying she was absolute wank. I thought this promo was excellent.
What a burger.
What a burger.
So, our heel promos are getting better. They don't bother me as much, and I kind of just lean into the fact she's going to take pops at the commentators now. It's funny.
Yeah.
That's her job. That's what she's there to do. But yeah, she
don't
said,
care about the dentistry stuff.
Oh, actually,
Stop talking about cavities and all the rest of the nonsense. I don't care.
What?
But it's like,
burger.
Okay, do you say that about Jericho? Well, you do, but when he starts talking about when Jericho talks about his rock band and stuff like that, it's something that the fans know about outside, and the fact that it's eating at fans like you now, it's working because she's a heel.
But it makes me skip the rest of her promo, so I have no idea what she said.
Basically,
it's only like a minute and a half
about wrestling.
She just, did the standard insult people and whatnot, insult the crowd.
Yeah, pretty much.
What a burger. She claimed that Nyla Rose and Riho are second to her. They're worse than her, and she should be in the match, pretty much. And that she obviously did. It was Sakazaki. She twatted her last week. Where she knocked out the teeth. And she kind of tried to justify that by saying she was the best women's wrestler, pretty much.
Yeah.
In the division, she deserved to have that title shot. But yeah, like I said, I shat on her last week, but in the DMs. But I thought this week was a much improved promo. I didn't feel bored for it. I say that much.
So it's one bad, one good, one bad, one good so far. So we're getting there slowly. It's almost like she's sort of growing in confidence bit by bit. She's going to be really good. I'm really. It's just getting there and just sort of feeling the crowd. It's just because obviously she was such a babyface before. I presume, I guess, and sort of growing into that heel role.
It's what they wanted her to be. She just never got over as it, so they just turned her heel, and it's working. So.
Well, she never got over it because the matches she had were never that great.
Because she's a fucking dentist.
Her face promos were just bland. Yeah. Like they didn't make me want to turn off. They just didn't make me want to watch.
She's just a fucking dentist.
But it must be really hard to do it, to be a genuine face and get over.
You have to have charisma. You have to have charisma to be a face.
Or Matt, would you say that Cody Rhodes has charisma?
I no. So this literally just. If you waited 10 seconds, I'd have said, or you have to have massive fan support from something else.
There you go.
Cody Rhodes is the number one babyface in the world right now. You're
he doesn't have any charisma, though, does he?
He does,
yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Roman Reigns, best babyface.
Okay.
Let's talk about that women's match. That's pretty much what he said.
I thought the women's match was decent. I was dreading it going in because I'm not a huge fan of Nyla in the ring, but she did her job well.
I'm not a huge fan of either of them. They do a job. Well, Rio's never there, so I wouldn't know if she did a job or not. But Nyla's okay. But to have Nyla win was the right call purely because Rio's never there.
So Nyla was going to win the title originally, I think, until she made the rapist comment on Twitter. So they backed off her. She turned around. Someone was complaining to her. So she turned it around with, "Oh, did your daddy touch you in your special place when you were a kid?"
I remember that.
So, AEW reeled her back on social media after that and sort of pushed her to the background, and she got suspended and all that. And they sort of pushed her to the background of the women's division and just gave it to Riho. From reading from what Meltzer said, Riho gets the loudest pop on the majority of shows.
Yeah, but Meltzer's got a weird boner for Japanese people.
He does, but she does get a reaction, and you can see how she plays the sympathetic babyface. She's a small girl, basically getting slapped about by a lot of older people, so she'll get that from the fans. Kids and probably women will love her.
Yeah, because she is a kid, so she's going to relate.
22, 23.
22, they said on commentary this week.
So, she does.
That might not be true. What with JR? She could be 48. It's JR.
It wasn't. It was Excalibur that said
fair
it.
Enough.
But yeah, what did you guys think of the match then?
The match was good. They had the right outcome from it. It's one of the best women's division matches they've had on AEW so far.
Yeah,
I would say so.
One of the things I saw on Twitter, and I didn't even realize because I'm not that up in American culture at the minute. Sonny Kiss came out and said after the match that AEW had made a black trans woman their champion in Black History Month or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's a big move for them as well. Obviously, you get the trans thing is a big victory for that movement and stuff, and obviously Black History Month. So let her have the title for a while. I still think they're going to build Statlander up to take it off her.
Yeah.
And I'm happy enough for her to carry the title.
Honestly, I mean, that's
I don't think
a
for a
great
while
feud.
though, because obviously the whole Statlander thing was she needed to beat the Nightmare Collective to get that.
But there's no Nightmare anymore, is there?
But there's no Nightmare anymore, so I think she's been pushed to not essentially to the back of the queue, but it's going to be a little while.
They'll have to come up with a different way of building her up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I still think Statlander will have the title.
I think she will. Yeah, I agree. I think she will. I just think it's going to look a lot more forced this time around.
Yeah, it doesn't need. There's no rush for it. You could just feed a few random jobbers to Nyla for a little while, and it'll be fine.
Just get that win-loss record up.
Yeah.
Unlike Smoothman's kill-death record.
Oh.
5-40. Oof.
KDR.
That's 5 kills and 40 deaths.
Your
and
KDR is in the mud, Smoothman. In the fucking mud, mate.
But no, very good match. Right result, in my opinion.
I didn't watch the whole of the AEW show. I know, kill me. But I watched the highlight show. It didn't do it much justice. I heard it was a really good match, but it didn't really give it.
It was better than their first one. When was it? October?
Possibly. I couldn't tell you.
My one concern about the match was I think Riho hit her with a Northern Light suplex or something. And to me, that was a bit... Was it Snapdragon she hit?
It was 2 Snapdragons.
Yeah, that to me, I was kind of like, love, come on. You're not hitting us. She's like 2 to 3 times your weight. You're not hitting her with a Snapdragon.
I didn't get to see
the best bit was like
the table spot. I heard there was a really good table spot in that match. Or there was something to do with the table.
That was last week. That was where the table didn't break.
Yeah. Oh no! I know that. No, I know that, but wasn't. Oh fuck it! I'll shut up.
I didn't see any table spot in this match.
I can't remember one.
I can't remember a table spot off the top of my head. Like.
The Snapdragons were fucking hilarious because when Rio was doing it, she was falling backwards and then having to roll sideways so that Nyla Rose didn't fall on top of her. So she ends up like 3 foot away from Nyla Rose when she gets to. And like I'm not a massive fan of Rio, but it made me laugh rather than made me really annoyed.
Yeah.
It was just so funny the fact that she's hitting these Snapdragons, but she's like 4 foot away by the time Nyla Rose hits the deck.
I get the feeling it gave you the sort of laugh of Kaylee Ray when she twatted the fuck out of Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, when she booted the fence next to Ripley.
So what did you think of the segment after the match where she goes backstage?
Oh yeah, and she gets pissed off at nobody giving her "Where's my bubbly?" and
screaming at Kenny. And I think there's 5 of the women. Britt Baker's there.
Yeah,
and I can't remember.
Chris
Britt
Statlander
Baker,
was there.
Swole is there.
Swole,
a couple of the other ones, but she's screaming at them. Leva Bates was there.
Yeah.
So
she was saying like, "All these are my contenders," and Leva Bates was there, and I was like, "Sorry, Mom."
That to me it was kind of like at the start I was like why, and then I was like okay, so if they play off this, if they have her come out next week or whatever and scream that she's not getting respect, and that's the thing, and she just starts killing people now because she's not getting respect, that could go a good storyline. Obviously if they build off it, it works. If not, it was kind of a pointless thing to me, but
yeah, they have to build off it.
Yeah, this is probably just something to try and solidify her as a new champion quite early on. There's been big bad woman who kills people
and
kills big men's career. Jungle Boy vs MJF.
I thought this was actually a really good match, and I haven't really enjoyed Jungle Boy that much other than his tag stuff. But the problem with
Jungle Boy is he's essentially a jobber, but he's really good. He's too good to be a jobber, but that's his role at the moment because there isn't much going on with the... I can't remember the Dinosaur Express.
Lucha Express.
There's nothing going on with them at the moment because they're not at the forefront of the tag division. like
I
they
think
were.
Luchasaurus still isn't technically fully cleared. I know he's back. I don't think he's technically
And yeah,
fully
you
cleared.
can't
He
have-
hasn't seen him in a match or full combat.
You
Yet.
can't have him and Marco Stunt really tag teaming together because
No, because they are jobbers when that happens.
Yeah, like they're both Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt are the same thing in that tag team as well. It doesn't really. I don't like them as a like those three together. I don't get why Marco Stunt was randomly forced into this tag team that was just a tag team.
Marco's really good mates with him. That just happened generically backstage.
It just like you can't have the one that isn't Marco Stunt or Luchasaurus. I can't remember his name now. Jungle Boy. Yeah, you can't have Jungle Boy as the big bad mean guy, and then have the other Marco Stunt as the guy who tags in and flips around because like they're both just flippy dudes. But you can't have them as just flippy dudes because Marco Stunt's too small to do like double flip spots with.
Yeah.
It's a bit disjointed.
Essentially,
So tell me
Spike
this.
Dudley.
Yeah, kind of like, yeah.
He's like half Spike Dudley, half Hornswoggle.
So did you find in this match, because I watched this full match, was actually really impressed. Did you find that Jungle Boy, he was believable in a match against MJF?
I always think Jungle Boy's believable.
He could have easily won that match and I'd have been fine with it.
Jungle Boy felt believable against Jericho.
Yeah.
He felt like he took Jericho to the limit.
I think against people that are certainly MJF size, definitely believable. Chris Jericho, they had an okay match. I wasn't a massive fan of their matches, but I thought this match was really good. But my concern is when you get into the tag division and you're like when he's 2-on-1 with somebody, I never believe that he's not going to get absolutely annihilated. Whereas Luchasaurus, if he was the tag team partner, you believe that he could win a 2-on-1 battle with somebody enough to get a tag to, say, Jungle Boy, and then he could come in and do his flippy shit and dance around the guys after they've been worn down by Luchasaurus.
There we go. Jungle Boy, jobber, but too good to be a jobber.
Should Cody have come down at the end, or are you happy with that?
Should say that again.
Cody, obviously, should Cody come and help?
He has to tell the back from last week. Otherwise, last week was pointless. There's no point in Cody being on this show if he's taking those 10 lashes. What I threw in the chat there, what I was saying about
that is a proper shout.
They just remind me of Kane and X-Pac. And I never had a problem with X-Pac fighting bigger wrestlers. Whenever Jungle Boy develops, now I think he's only been wrestling for like 2-3 years. He's 21, 22 again. See, in 5-6 years' time, I think you're going to see him and he'd be a fucking fantastic hand in the ring. I could easily fall in X-Pac mode. Go ahead, Sergeant.
This is where win-loss records come into it again, because if you start building them and he's lost all these matches, people aren't going to...
But it's why they reset them each year.
I was going to say, you don't need...
I think they keep hold of them. I think they do, like, here's their record, but here's their overall record as well.
Yeah, but the rankings, they do keep the overall record, but the rankings are based off
current ones, yeah.
The current ones. I think, honestly, if you were to get, say, like Lucha Express, is that what you call their tag team? I'm misremembering. Say 3 years down the line, they've had a really bad record. Like they've lost 40 out of whatever. Even if they go on a run and get like 9 wins in the first 3 months, you can then go, oh, this is a team that's had their issues over the years. They've been trying to come up against bigger teams, but they've found their groove and just play it like a form team. Do you know what I mean? And build it that way. And I think that's what they're going to have to do if people are eating loads of losses. I don't think we're going to get to a stage where anybody other than Brandon Cutler has like a really bad fucking record.
Respects Brandon Cutler, man.
Ridiculous. Huh? Yeah, it's basically form. There you go. George bringing Man United references into it. See if I'll bite, and I'm not going to.
But no, is it next week that Wardlow's got this match with Cody and the Steel King?
Yeah, so next week's card is mentally stacked already. So
it's the go-home show, isn't it? Or is that the week of it?
No, I think there might be another show.
There's another one. It's the 29th, so there's 2 more Wednesdays.
So next week, they've already announced Kenny Omega and Hangman versus Lucha Bros. That tag team clusterfuck, the Wardlow match, and then there was something else, I can't remember. But they've announced like 4 matches that are like fucking mental and should be fantastic to watch. Like,
yeah, going back to what you said about promoting matches. It's doing them well at the moment. We'll talk about main event and then what happened after the main event and big scenes and big debuts, alleged debuts.
The first promo, by the way, because I think it was after this match, because I think there's a gap between the first promo and then the main event.
Like midway through the night, didn't it?
The first promo, when Jericho says his name, I just fanboyed in the DMs. I was just like, Jeff fucking Cobb! He's here!
I have some issues with it, but we'll talk about Moxley versus Santana first in eye patch on a pole match.
That's great. So I didn't mind the match. My issue with it is I don't think they needed to give Santana an eye patch. Was the Santana promo this week or last week?
That was this week. The JR interview.
That was fucking fantastic.
But why did they babyface him?
Humanized him more than anything.
I think he's
a member of the massive heel faction. Why did they babyface him?
I think it was the humanizing because he had been attacked obviously last week in his eye patch,
and it's the hypocrisy of it as well. It's the whole hypocrisy of the whole situation as well.
But they played into it so much that he was the babyface going into the match in the end, even though he's part of the biggest heel faction that they've got.
Well, yeah. Would you call John Moxley a babyface, like an outright babyface?
No, but he's also not a heel when he's fighting one of the worst people on the card company.
Card company? T-shirt company?
I think they announced at the start, like they were going to go, rather than heel versus babyface, it was going to be shades of grey. And like Jack said, Moxley you couldn't call Moxley a babyface.
No, but
he's more of an Austin.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So
Ortiz or whichever one of posting and packaging this is definitely a fucking heel because he's part of the massive heel faction that are just a bunch of cunts.
Yeah, but like Chris.
So why do you need to babyface him? Why try and babyface him? Because he's going to go back to stabbing people in the eye next week.
Did you enjoy this promo? Did you think it was well done and well produced?
It just made me really taken out of the whole thing because he's gone from being a horrible man who is we're the best to my dad was blind and I'm sad because you stabbed me in the eye.
Yeah, so his dad had died like a couple of months ago. He wanted to mention his dad on TV. His dad is probably, well, I was going to say watched. Bad choice of words. But his dad's probably followed his career. He's finally made it to a company on national TV. And he wanted to mention his dad on TV. Do you know what I mean?
I think they're from Puerto Rico. I think his dad was a wrestler in Puerto Rico. So obviously his son's got onto the main stage and
blind wrestler.
Properly happy with him.
So he went blind at 14. How did he wrestle?
Oh, did he? I thought his dad was.
His dad went blind. His dad that was a wrestler. I'm not sure, maybe. Like I had no issue with it. I thought it was a really good segment, and I think this is what they should be using JR for.
How did he manage to get
pre-taped backstage segments?
Yeah, where you can edit out.
He can actually be like Attitude Era / WWE JR, where he's fucking in a really good role for him. He puts people over. Boom, do that all day long.
This would have been perfect for somebody who's not an out-and-out heel. And I'm sorry, but Posters and Packaging are an out-and-out heel tag team.
Like Chris said, is it not the hypocrisy after they've blinded?
No, because they played off the hypocrisy last week. This wasn't him about the hypocrisy. This wasn't this man is evil because he stabbed me in the eye. This was feel sympathy for me. My dad was blind and now he's dead.
But then didn't JR ask the question about, well, why don't shouldn't you be having to go to Jericho about this as well?
I don't know because I gave up watching it halfway through again because it was just annoying me.
Well, it
was taking me out of the suspension of disbelief.
Man, if you're going to critique it and go this hard on it, you need to watch the whole thing and have all the content.
Okay, actually, I did watch the whole thing, but I can't remember what went on at the fucking end of it. Because it was so fucking annoying, I just can't remember the end of it. So I might as well have just quit. Just fucking stopped watching it.
Right, Matt, you're in the naughty corner for like the next 10 minutes, mate.
That's a red card.
Just like, sin bin time, just go sit down, go get yourself a wee brew or something in the next room.
I don't drink brew.
I don't drink water. Moxley won. Obviously, you can't have Moxley lose.
There were so many awkward times in this where Moxley was looking out of his eye. Like the scene, you see the big segment where like they're pushing Moxley down onto the corner of the steel steps, and Moxley's eye patch is skewed, and you could see his eye just looking. And I was like, oh fuck.
Looking.
Also, I never watched the New Japan thing, but Matt, you were like giving them big plaudits for how good the New Japan was at like filming away from it. Seen a clip, and it's Moxley sitting, nothing covering his eye, and he's going, I've got my, and then he catches on and goes, one eye at the end of the match, and it is brutal looking. It's like it starts off with this, and then he goes, oh shit, one eye on you, and I'm like, oh fuck.
So I wasn't watching it live, so I just watched the matches. I didn't watch. Didn't watch the end of the end of stuff.
Fair. No, it's got to bring that up.
Let's talk about the match because no one cares about the match. It's about the aftermath. Inner Circle came out, didn't they? To batter Moxley, obviously, to continue that storyline, and then Jericho was like, "Fuck it, let's get Big Boy Cobb out now." And
pop massively for Cobb coming down. Looks completely different than the last time I'd seen him. He's grown his hair out and shit.
If you don't know Cobb, you should. He was in the G1 Climax, the last one, which he had a pretty decent performance, I think. If I remember rightly.
I've seen some of his stuff from PWG years ago.
Man, in Lucha Underground. He was massive and he's been in ROH for a while. I think his finisher looks class, but
Tour of the World
didn't look really class at Moxley because it looked like he struggled because Moxley's a tall fucker. And the very start of it, it seemed like Moxley's feet were almost touching the ground, but it does look class when he hits it.
But obviously he's got pedigree behind him. He was PWG champion for ages. He was a big.
He's got the Olympics as well, isn't he?
He's that's why it's a massive get for AEW because obviously he's a typical WWE man. But there was reports coming out that AEW were looking for the bigger boys to come in, like you said earlier about the Brody Lees, Jeff Cobbs. Nick Aldis's, whatever. But he was obviously Ring of Honor TV champion, I think, and he beat Ospreay to become double champ, Ring of Honor TV and never openweight champ in New Japan. So he's done a fair bit already.
So yeah, he's been offered a deal, as was stated earlier on in the chat. He's been offered a deal at AEW.
But he wants the New Japan deal.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you think about that then? I mean, if you're at AEW, would you be cool with that?
He'll give him the Moxley Jericho deal and just let him go do it whenever he's not working.
He's still on the. He's still
her appearance with ROH.
Ring of Honor, but he's not under contract at all.
So he's obviously as well part of the Inner Circle. So I figured, obviously,
he's not part of the Inner Circle.
He's just the mercenary.
I don't think he will. I think
he's a hired hitman. They mentioned it so much on the show to make sure that people were aware he's not part of the Inner Circle. He's a hired hitman that Jericho's brought in. So I think he could do this match against Moxley next week, and then we won't see him for a while. And then when he comes back in, he'll be his own man. He won't be part of the Inner Circle.
Obviously, it was. I was thinking straight away, why the hell are they putting him up against Moxley just to lose? Because Moxley's not gonna lose. But then I thought, if he's not under contract, he's got no obligation to be there. They're not going to have to build a story around him. It's just going to make Moxley look, more of the guy for beating someone like Jeff Cobb, and then he can come back in like a couple of months' time.
Yep.
If he's under a new contract, then
it's an interesting point. When do you see Moxley losing? Omega? Sometime down the line when he's champion?
Moxley will lose to Jericho and not get the title.
I don't think that'll happen, but fair enough. I think if he takes the title off Jericho, I think he might lose like a TV match or something, not for the title, and then he'll have to obviously fight that person again for the title and then beat them. But I think he's, like they said last week, or whenever he was fighting, the last time he fought Pac, I think Pac was the only wrestler he had faced that he hadn't beat. Because obviously they had that draw, didn't they, with Pac? They did with him and Pac.
Yeah, that's what I remember then. But yeah, next week, I think it's next week or the week after. They're all merging into one though.
The Cobb match is next week, which is the other thing I was trying to remember.
Yeah, Cobb and Moxley, which I don't think Oh, they might have been. I can't remember if they were in the G1 together in the same group.
They were. They fought each other in the
were.
G1. Their match was supposed to be a bit meh, but from what I've read about the G1, a lot of Cobb's matches were meh, and it was because he was sort of put off because they weren't doing anything with him.
He was never. So he was in the. Going to do a massive disrespect. He was in the lesser group. He was in Group B, if I remember, because Group A had the likes of Okada, Ibushi,
Big Snake,
Ospreay, Archer,
yeah.
all the big boys kind of thing. Whereas Group B had, you know, I'm not saying that it was a bad group by any means, but it didn't have some of the name power. So you had the likes of Jeff Cobb in there.
It was Raw to a SmackDown situation.
You had that was the one when Naito was in. That can't remember, Toriano, him.
Top man.
So it just,
top man.
Seems like a lesser one, so that he didn't really. If he was up against someone like Ospreay, like he's proven before in that match, then yeah, because the Ospreay match was the match that kind of propelled Archer, because that was a massive match, the Archer Ospreay match. So if Cobb was in that position, I'm sure he would have been the United States champion for a bit and whatnot. But that was AEW.
Segue before we jump to NXT. We mentioned Ospreay there. Ospreay won the heavyweight title off Zack Sabre Jr. and has now announced that he's moved to the heavyweights.
I think that was always going to happen after he dropped the light heavyweight belt, and it's a perfect transition for him.
I wasn't expecting to announce it yet, but he announced that after 7 years he's moving to the heavyweights. After he beat for the UK, it must be the UK heavyweight championship.
Is it the Rev Pro UK title?
That's the one Sabre had.
That's the one that Sabre
has. He won that at the weekend.
Is that in a Rev Pro event then?
That was the Rev Pro. I can't remember what it's called, but it was at your call. It's their big boy event.
Yeah, so he's
now explains why. Which explains why Zack Sabre Jr. is now fighting for the US title in New Japan.
Yeah, because obviously Rev Pro and New Japan have a big collaboration together.
Yeah.
OTT must be linked with them as well now because they've got Moxley and Pac for their Scrapper
Mania that's coming up. You gonna be heading down to that?
I'm considering it, mate, to be honest.
When's this? Sorry.
March or April.
Smart. That'll be March weather.
Everyone go down to Kit Brown Toast's house and we'll go watch on OTT. I'm sure his missus will love it. Let's go on to NXT.
Yeah, we need to finish sometime in the next year. So yes, we need to go to
NXT, and then because it's perfectly linked into the predictions as well.
Yep.
Like I said, I haven't watched it in full yet. That's something to do if I hadn't have napped.
It's a bit. I'd maybe watch it like 1.5 speed and lose the commentary.
But we should say, because we usually do this, AEW got 817,000 to NXT's 757,000. So they're consistently going down, both of them. Oh no, NXT went up, didn't it?
No, NXT went down as well.
Oh, but like slight measure. But as a whole, they're both going down, which is.
I think there was some basketball shit or something. Someone read and read it. Maybe there wasn't. But I think that might have dipped some of the viewers out. Maybe the XFL's taking viewers away from it.
Well, that's something we didn't mention. XFL did more viewers than Raw and SmackDown combined.
They did last time. I think when they first debuted, when was it, 2004? 2001. They drew 14 million. The first
fucking hell. And I think they drew like 4 million this time.
Yeah, they drew 14 million the first time around.
That's insane.
It's because it's American football. You're going to watch it, aren't you? If you like American football, you're going to watch it.
I think their timing is a bit off. I think they should have maybe left it for about a month after the Super Bowl rather than launch it directly after the Super Bowl, because obviously all the NFL fans are probably a bit tired of the season now. Whereas if you left it maybe a month, the fans would have been like, I fancy a bit of football.
I could not care less about American football. But people are saying it was top quality stuff, to be fair. People really enjoyed it. So obviously,
it's got rave reviews so far. It's going really well.
They keep it up, obviously, because last time was an utter shambles.
Yeah, but they had JR and King commentating on it last time.
Puppy!
I'm serious. They got JR, King, and Jesse Ventura to commentate on football.
Oh, that's amazing. Bring that back.
What didn't they used to have like tag names on the back of their shirts, like "Hate Me Now" or things like that, instead of like actual people names?
Yep.
Should we do NXT?
Let's go with NXT.
Bad book is XFL
reviews. We need to all pick a team, buy jerseys and shit. We kicked off the night with Roddy Strong and Bronson Reed having a big brawl because they attacked Bronson Reed last week.
A week before, yeah.
Week before, because obviously they were trying to find Ciampa, wasn't it? And Bronson Reed's got in the way, and Roddy twatted him.
It was fine.
I'm not a fan of Bronson Reed.
He's a big boy, and I can see he's a bit like a Jeff Cobb type, if you will. But Jeff Cobb's
but Jeff Cobb can actually wrestle.
Jeff Cobb's better, but
it's more like Dave Mastiff than anything.
B-Tech Jeff Cobb.
I've only ever seen Jeff Cobb in the G1 last year, and I would put Jeff Cobb and this guy on exactly the same level.
Okay.
I might be
Jeff
wrong,
Cobb
and I
Keith
might need
Lee.
to watch more Jeff Cobb matches, but at the moment, these two are on exactly the same level.
The only thing that I would put Jeff Cobb above Bronson Reed is, Jeff Cobb's a legit Olympian big wrestle boy.
He's a big sweaty man.
Go watch his Lucha Underground stuff, man.
That's true.
Okay. That's fair. Like I say, I haven't watched much, and it was only in a tournament he didn't care about because he wasn't getting what he wanted.
There we go.
Yeah, this match was. It
was all right.
But no, Roddy won.
Well, again, if you're looking at it like head to head, that was up against the tag team championship match in AEW, and it wouldn't surprise me why people were looking going.
Yeah,
I think
when you see the likes of Omega, and you know those two teams are going to have chemistry together, and you see Roddy versus Bronson Reed, you're going to watch the tag team.
And again, that's why I said at the start as well. This didn't feel like a takeover send home. Like,
No.
This was not a takeover send home caliber show. This show should have sold me on Takeover. I might watch Takeover later, I might not. But this should have sold me on you need to watch, and it really didn't.
No, it didn't.
No,
you're right. I fully agree with you there. It didn't feel like a go home at all.
Yeah, I said it to Toast. It felt like I thought Takeover was next Saturday when me and Toast were on the call before we went live, and I was just like, "What's tonight?" But this felt like a wheel spinning kind of
just another week to
get to Takeover next week. I was really confused.
There was more stuff with Velveteen Dream with Strong as well.
Yeah, he showed up and cut the promo and
showed off his pants.
Showed off his pants.
Showed off pants again. And he referenced something weird. I can't remember what it was. I watched the promo, but it didn't really put me in, which is odd for Velveteen. He's usually good at drawing people.
Oh, we had a question. Can't remember.
Did we?
Yeah, the answer to that is no, because one, it's not an upwards move anymore, and two, he would get lost on main roster.
100%.
The question was from @the_YepGM, which was, should Velveteen Dream be called up?
No.
Reasons. Give big reasons.
Lost on main roster. His character's too out there. They work on the main roster. He'd somehow end up as the third Wyatt brother or something on SmackDown. Or he'd end up as the new Goldust semi-gay character in a bad way.
Vince wouldn't get the character, and his wrestling ability isn't good enough to keep him in any sort of title picture.
Disagree with the wrestling side of things. I think more the fact that I don't think the gimmick could get fully over. And then
last week.
Oh no, okay, yes, he clubbed things a bit wrong. I get that. Whatever, it happens. But it's not the right time for him at all yet. And maybe he's sort of gone off the boil since the injury, because obviously, but
he went off the boil first week of live TV.
Yeah, this is true. Maybe he's one of these guys who doesn't do well with the live thing. But even so, I don't think he's ready yet for it. And also, where would you put him?
Well, I'm going to do my question because.
Okay, because I was going to say he'd more likely end up in something like Fashion Files and fucking Wyatt Family. You know what I mean?
Question was, with John Cena returning 2 weeks' time. I think it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe, on SmackDown. Who do you reckon he faces at Mania? And I reckon Velveteen Dream could be perfect because John Cena's come out and already put Dream over in interviews and whatnot. And it could be a perfectly acceptable way to try and get Dream onto the main roster.
Well, AJ Taker's the rumored Taker match this year.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that. AJ could carry him to a match.
I mean, Dream would be fine, but apparently, I mean, it's sort of like Melty reckons it's Elias or something, isn't it? Which is
Cena Edge.
It's not. It's going to be Elias.
It's going to be Cena versus the Fiend, isn't it?
It's going to be Elias.
Well, that was one of the rumors. Is if Goldberg ends up taking the title off the Fiend, they could
Which he will.
Fiend and Goldberg Roman.
Yeah, which will be what happens.
It'll be interesting. I feel like
But who should John Cena face? Not who should Goldberg face.
Well, yeah. What I said, if you listen, Jack,
I'm not listening.
was if Goldberg takes the title off Fiend, Goldberg fights Roman and Cena fights Fiend. Therefore, your question was answered. Smoothen doesn't interrupt when he doesn't listen.
Because he just doesn't talk.
No, that's my gimmick, isn't it?
He forgets what's going on. Bless him. Edge will be Randy. He was already Randy.
Edge was always Randy. Have you not seen that segment from
But who done
10
it?
years ago?
Dude.
The segment is fucking raw.
Where do we go?
Gordon Ramsay seal of approval.
Let's
One
go
on
on
the
to
walk
the
out
next
with
match.
2 bits of bread and
Shut
put
up.
it around Vince's head. What
Next
are you?
match. Johnny Gargano defeating Cameron Grimes in big match.
This is a good match.
Yeah.
I don't get Cameron Grimes, though. I don't get him. I don't know what he's supposed to be.
He's a
Big
redneck high flyer.
Big
He's basically modern day Jamie Noble.
Okay.
A bit more hairy.
Yeah.
He was just a way to get Johnny Gargano a victory before he loses at Takeover. So big things.
Yeah, it was feed someone of relative note to Gargano before he fights Balor.
Did you just say Balor's the same as Cameron Grimes?
Feed what? Feed someone of relative note before he fights Balor. How did I like?
I thought you compared them.
Jack, are you even fucking listening?
You talk and sometimes we'll switch off, mate.
Yeah, fucking hell. Bring back Smoothman, please.
I'm sure you will. The next,
you just know Smoothman.
Like, you're fucking shit.
Smoothman's just ejaculated in the hotel right now. For that, from that
He should be ejaculating in the hotel. Fucking blue tree.
Use code BADBOOKERS for free erection.
Put your $5 shipping and code BADBOOKERS at checkout.
Leo Rush defeated Angel Garza for an NXT Cruiserweight match.
we need to have a lie down and think about what we've just done.
Why is Angel Garza being punished?
He's not. He's just going to Raw full time, isn't he?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going up the Raw.
Well, one, that's being punished, and two, he had no defenses of his title, and now he doesn't even win the #1 contendership for that title.
Because he's going to Raw, not 205 Live. Let Leo fucking Rush job the Devlin.
Let me see Leo Rush versus Jordan Devlin in a 1v1.
Leo's going to fucking win as well.
Leo's going to... No, he's not. Devlin is now Triple H's pet project. Rush is going to lose.
I can't look at Devlin without the big head fucking image in my mind again.
This match isn't happening on Takeover, is it? It's happening next
week, yeah.
weeks.
As is Velveteen Dream and Roddy Strong as well.
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks for the Cruiserweight, 1 week for Strong.
Decent match. What happened after it?
Bianca Belair defeating Santana Garrett.
She got buried because of that shit match she had the other way. She had the worst match ever, and I think it was with your Brazilian girl.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
The WWE ring.
Oh, that was her.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's who dropped out the Bianca Belair. So Bianca kills her in like a minute. I'm pretty sure your girl didn't know what Bianca was going to do. Because when Bianca had her up in like the glam slam position and hit her in the turnbuckle, your girl had no fucking clue what day it was like. And then Bianca pins her really quick, and obviously you get the interaction with Rhea. And again, feed Bianca someone to make it look like she's going to beat Rhea when she's not, clearly.
Yeah.
And then Rhea came out.
I'm really liking Bianca at the minute. I'm really liking her. I mean, look,
They've done well to capitalise on the Rumble.
I would say Bianca Belair fights Bayley for the title at Mania.
No, it's going to be Sasha. Why is everyone looking over Sasha?
Because they're both heels and they haven't done any.
They did it before.
Yeah, but they haven't done any storytelling in that division
They
in
don't
months.
need to.
If an NXT woman goes up, it's going to be Rhea. It will not be Bianca. Bianca will stay behind and be the next face.
You can't have two. You can't have both women's matches being NXT versus WWE essentially.
No.
That's why it's going to be Sasha.
You mean all
I'd
three?
say Rhea probably goes up after Mania.
I mean,
Yeah, I reckon.
what's the other one?
Rhea, Charlotte,
Yeah,
and
Well, Charlotte
Shayna
will win the
Baszler
title,
versus
won't she? Charlotte will
Becky.
win that.
Both of those are NXT versus.
and Shayna's now main roster, isn't she? Whereas
She's
Rhea's
not.
not main
There's
roster.
no confirmation
Charlotte-
she's been called up. She just turned up on Raw.
She took a chunk out of Becky's neck. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she
fucking
turned
main
up on
roster
Raw.
now.
What's that? How's that different to Bianca Belair going at SmackDown?
Maybe she's got a managerial contract.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because Shayna Baszler hasn't been seen on NXT for a while.
It was there like a week ago.
Shut up. Main event time. Kushida had a match.
Because, again, it was okay. I still think Kushida needs to be paired with Alex Shelley or someone similar to give him a bit of attitude and just let him be a tag team wrestler. This match was
Overrated
okay.
Japanese
At
nonsense.
no point did I think that Kushida was going to beat Adam Cole.
No.
There was no way
Even
it
though,
should have happened. There's no way it looked like it was going to happen, and there was no way it did happen.
I'm happy they didn't just decide to go, oh yeah, it's a title match. I'm glad they didn't do that because then that just solidifies it more. But no, it was
Oh,
definitely a title
no.
match.
Now that you said that, I want Kushida versus Ciampa tonight instead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're missing out on the
Kushida's
Peter
just
Doom
walking in
segment
with
as well.
Goldie.
Like it wouldn't have mattered even. There's no way you're having Adam Cole lose.
Cool.
Adam Cole.
Adam Cole
He's now part of Too Cool.
lose the week before the.
That's how
pay-per-view,
Vince will
so
fucking book him, you know.
I'm like, why is Kushida there? Why do we just
I
bring
thought
in
he would
Japanese
be-
wrestlers who no longer care about the
He
wrestling
was
business?
signed for NXT Japan. They can't do it anymore because DDT bought Noah. That's your answer. It's the only reason he was signed.
Well, let him go back to New Japan. Just get him off my fucking NXT.
Your
Yours?
NXT.
Well,
We are
actually,
NXT.
No,
We-
call him up to the main roster and stick him in Sami Zayn's tag team.
Yes.
You can have two shit Japanese wrestlers.
He's not shit. He's just being very weird.
He just doesn't give a fuck. Just like Shinsuke Nakamura used to not be shit, and now he doesn't give a fuck.
I don't agree with you with Kushida, honestly. I think he needs something, and I think he's better putting a tag team. I don't think it's that he doesn't give a fuck.
He comes across as not giving a fuck.
Okay.
He's never there.
Exactly my point.
No, he can't turn up if he's not booked.
They've got 100 cunts in the performance center. You can't be there every week.
He's been there 3 times this calendar
Movement
year.
said, has Matt made an actual positive comment tonight?
It's cool time. I love that. It fucking killed me. Oh, right. There was. So are we done with that?
Ciampa came out afterwards and
yeah.
did a big attack on Adam Cole
Did he?
with the fairy tale ending.
We mentioned the Broserweight segments that everybody really loved.
I haven't seen any of this week's ones. I've heard they're not as good as previous ones, but
Last
they're
week's
still
ones
okay.
were good. This week's ones felt forced.
Smoothman and Chris
forced
both
it.
said in the DMs that they loved them.
Cheesy as fuck. I enjoy it.
I really didn't enjoy this week's.
Why am I not surprised?
Smoothman, answer to your question, as Matt's going to do another negative comment. No.
I think I'm in the minority, but I really
think they felt forced this week.
I thought they were
Maybe because it was a pre-tape or what?
Because there was like 4 of them.
Yeah, there was 4 pre-tape. So one, they're in a car, and then neither of them have a driving license. So how did they hire the car in the first place? No, the boat was second.
Yeah.
So they had the car, then they got kicked out of the car because they didn't have a driving license, and then they got into a pedalo Swan because drugs.
I did see that.
and then they decided that Riddle came up with another plan to get them there, which was to climb in the back of the Triple H's plane.
Yeah.
The only thing the boot, which Pete Dunne kept getting really annoyed at. The only good part of this was when you looked past the plane before you knew whose plane it was. The prefix of the plane number was DX, which obviously you then know whose plane.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, that was the only bit of the segment that popped.
As soon as you ripped it apart, I enjoyed it. So fuck you.
I don't know. You said there was one more. You said there was
I think there was only 3. I only
How many
remember.
three? I said
one.
4 is a random number.
Oh no, that was just a Valentine's Day one where Matt Riddle asked Pete Dunne what people should do to get Valentine's Day, and Pete Dunne was like, "Don't upset your employers, don't be outspoken, stuff like that." And Matt Riddle's like, "Yeah, cool, nice one." That was quite fun. I did enjoy that. I did it.
Predictions.
NXT Takeover is tonight. We've got a full load of guest league predictions. I think we got 13, 14 people. I haven't updated it. There are a couple more. So there's a lot of people.
So which of these 6 is going on the pre-show? Do we think?
I don't think any of them. I honestly don't think any of them.
Because obviously they did a pre-show match for the first time at War Games.
Stick Rhea on the pre-show. Fuck it.
Okay.
There's talk that Rhea's match is going to be
Adam Cole versus Ciampa on the pre-show.
I'd love to see it.
Obviously it's tonight. I don't know what time it kicks off. Is it midnight?
Yeah, usually midnight.
War Games.
Pre-show 11 and
pre-show's 11. So obviously we've got an hour pretty much to.
Which is why I think there'll be a match on it, because it used to be half-hour pre-shows and now it's an hour.
Just get Pat McAfee to shout at people for an hour.
The only hour-long NXT pre-show was the one with the match on. The rest of them were half hours.
It doesn't matter.
They might pick another match, and if they do, we'll have to do big predictions for that. But what we'll do, if I do Smoothman's and mine, because we're the last 2, it makes perfect sense. So it's Matt Toast, Chris Smoothman, and me. We'll start off Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano.
I have completely fucked my prediction. The only match that I didn't change at least once was the North American title match. So I have absolutely.
Before we continue, we must say me and Matt have been going back and forth in the DMs because obviously there's 3 at the moment. Obviously, it could change. There's 3 pay-per-views left. I'm currently 2 behind Matt in terms of getting money, and Matt is running scared.
Jack is living rent-free in my head. I'm like outthinking myself. The reason I've gone for Johnny Gargano for this first match.
Are you fucking insane?
Right. Balor's been around long enough now that he can lose and not feel like a joke. And I think if you get Gargano to win this, you can then build a better way towards Mania's takeover and then Mania itself. So I think they're going to have a fatal 4-way number 1 contendership match. There's the main event of the takeover before Mania with the NXT title defended at Mania itself. And I think both Balor and Gargano are in. I think if Balor beats Gargano, Gargano doesn't have a legitimate way into that match. I think if Gargano beats Balor, then both of them have a legitimate reason to be in that match.
Interesting. So
I just don't see a way that if they have an NXT Championship match at Mania, it has to be Balor. There needs to be someone with credibility. You can't just throw
it might be actually
Johnny again. I think it's going to be Balor versus whoever at Mania. I think you need his credibility he brings from being on the main roster and stuff. I don't see a way he loses again. He lost 1 match already, didn't he? In NXT, Balor?
He's lost. I think he's lost 1.
I think he lost the last pay-per-view.
Did he lose to Ciampa?
He didn't lose on the last pay-per-view. His fights on pay-per-view were Ilya Dragunov that he beat and
Matt Riddle.
Matt Riddle, who he beat.
Yeah. Did he lose to Ciampa? It might have been like a multi-man match where he didn't get pinned or something.
I just don't see them beating Finn before Mania.
No, you need. Yeah, I'm in the same boat on this one. Gargano can eat a loss, and it won't be an issue. It just pushes Balor right to the very top of the card to challenge whoever is the champion come Mania. So Balor for me.
I've also gone Finn Balor. So Johnny Gargano is the only. Matt is the only person to pick Johnny Gargano. I've done. Matt's saying that I'm living his head rent free. I've done massive fantasy booking. This one. So you know what my fantasy booking's like when it comes to predictions. Announce 0 out of 6 now. The only reason why I went for Balor is because a bit like what Toast said, Johnny Gargano could eat a loss, and I think Finn Balor kind of needs that win a bit more than Gargano at this moment of time. But I could see either of them winning, to be fair. I would just be a bit more disappointed if Gargano won. Street fight. I've changed this. Finn Balor was certain for me to start with. But Dakota Kai versus Tegan Nox, I changed 3 or 4 times my prediction, and I'm sure you did as well, Matt. So who have you gone?
I did. I had Tegan Nox to start with, and then I was like, no, that makes no sense. It's got to be Dakota Kai. And then I was like, no, but you need a face to win because I've got a couple of heels winning. And then I didn't have a couple of heels winning, so I changed this back to being the heel winning this one. And I wasn't really sure. And I've eventually just gone, fuck it. So I've gone with Dakota Kai. She's a heel. I think she needs the win coming out of this more than Nox. She needs to legitimize herself as a heel, and she's not really done that so far. All she's really done is spun the wheel since she turned heel at War Games. I think this being a street fight leads into that as well. I want to see a spot of her slamming Tegan Nox's knee in a door of some kind again, wherever they end up away from the ring. I think Dakota Kai should be the one who wins here.
Toast.
Dakota Kai, she'll win. Big heel, get fed the Rhea before the next fucking big pay-per-view. Done, really. I'm kind of fed up with her story with Tegan Nox. It's not really compelling enough. It's, she beat me up. But like, I think Tegan and Candice will go on and be a tag team anyway after this and just push Dakota to fight Rhea or whatever.
Cool. Chris?
I feel like I might have fucked up. I went for Tegan Nox, but I don't really have a reason for it other than I'm happy that she's back, and quite frankly, I think Tegan Nox is going to get pushed to the moon. So yeah, I'll take her over Dakota Kai for this one. To be honest, I don't have a real reason for it other than that.
Me and Smoothman have both gone Dakota Kai. Tegan Nox has already beaten Dakota Kai, beating her on TV. So Dakota Kai needs a win back. It's as simple as that. And then they can have
but then to have her buried further, it doesn't matter.
They have a rubber match at Takeover before Mania, where Tegan Nox probably wins that.
Which is just what Smoothman said in the chat.
Is it? Oh yeah, there you go. So there's no, if Dakota Kai turns heel and then loses 2 matches in quick succession against Tegan Nox, then just
in the mud,
go to Stardom or something like that. NXT Tag Team Championships, Undisputed Era, the current champions versus the Broserweights. Matt?
I had Undisputed Era for the longest time. And then I watched this week's and I saw the internet reaction to the Broserweight stuff. Now, I said I think I'm in the minority of people who didn't enjoy the skits. I've seen a lot of people raving over them. I don't think it's the right time to split Riddle and Pete Dunne up yet. And I think if they don't win the titles, one of them is going to end up turning on the other. So I think we are going to get the Broserweights winning these titles, which changed my outcome of the last match because I'll explain that later. But yeah, so I've got the Broserweights taking the titles here.
Toast.
I have UE retaining, so I have a feeling that Roddy's getting involved. And especially with Roddy not being on the card at all, I think Roddy will be down. He'll cost the Broserweights, so that'll get the Broserweights a rematch down the line, and then you'll probably have a run in from Velveteen, and it'll end up in a big clusterfuck brawl after the match.
6-man tag match.
Love those.
8-man tag match.
Yeah, I went for Broserweights as well. I think that with the momentum behind them at the minute, I kind of think that UE's tag run certainly recently has been quite stale. So I think it might be time to freshen it up a little bit with the Broserweights. I mean, it may not last particularly long. I mean, to be honest, I thought this was just going to be a tag team that was going to die off as soon as the tag team classic was done. But they seem to be really quite invested in it now. And as Matt mentioned earlier on, with the whole internet support that it's getting, I think Broserweights are going to win it.
They found their niche, and that niche is smoking weed.
Yes.
Moveman has gone for Broserweights as well, and he just said in the chat they've got massively behind the Broserweights, therefore need to have a payoff. Plus, we have had mixed match teams not win previously, so it must be now time. Makes sense. I've also gone for
Vince is
Broserweights.
always known for giving the what they want.
A bit like I had Undisputed Era for a little while, but then my fancy booking kicked in, which I won't say until the end. But I've gone for Broserweights as well. So I like how the first 3 matches, at least one of us, have gone different to everyone else. I like that. North American Championship match: Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic.
Let's not even talk about it.
Yeah,
It's pretty obvious.
like, Keith Lee's winning. We've all gone Keith
Everyone's
Lee.
gone Keith.
I mean, it won't be a squash. It'll be one of their standard TV matches, which will be high flippy and fucking insane.
It's just a way to get.
Think about the Mark Henry promo this week.
I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Should we do the same for the next one? Rhea Ripley versus Bianca.
I mean, that'll be a really good match, but Rhea will win. Rhea needs a good, solid first proper defense.
Yeah.
Everyone's gone for Rhea Ripley. Now, this is the one. Oh, my fancy booking's kicking in. I love to see it. NXT Championship, Adam Cole, current champion, versus Tommaso Ciampa. Matt.
Okay, so
why?
I've gone for Adam Cole. Now, as I said earlier, I had Undisputed Era retaining the tag titles for a long time because I had Ciampa winning this match. You can't have Undisputed Era lose all of the gold here. I think the best way for Mania is you have Adam Cole lose the NXT title at Mania on the Mania card itself. After, like I said, I reckon there'll be a fatal 4-way on the night before to decide who his opponent is. But you've got to have him retain. Therefore, I think they need to lose the tag team titles. I don't think they need to be basically hanging on by a thread to this, the prophecy thing. And like they've already lost we're having all the gold, but you need to make Adam Cole as crazy as possible, like as panicking as possible, and be as desperate to keep that title as possible. So you've got to have Undisputed Era lose those titles, and he's just going to basically force the rest of the guys to come down to ringside. And I think over the next few weeks, you're going to see a little bit of tension within the Undisputed Era. You already started to see it when Roddy Strong was saying he was worried about Velveteen Dream in one of the backstage promos they did this week. And he told Roddy, don't worry about Velveteen Dream. We've got this to worry about right now. I think it was just before the Kushida match. And I think they're going to start to play in on that. So I think by the time we get to Mania, I don't think Undisputed Era, I think there's going to be certainly some conflict within Undisputed Era. And there's going to be some arguments going on. But I think Cole retains, even though I had Ciampa down for like most of this week.
Toast.
Cole Balor Mania. Boom.
Cole Balor Mania. Boom. Chris.
I've gone for Ciampa, and I think that Roddy Strong is going to inadvertently cost Adam Cole the title. Somehow, some way, shenanigan, mistake, whatever. I think that, because there's always been that tiny little bit of tension when it comes to Strong and Cole. Not Cole, no, what words, Chris? Strong and Cole. And I get the feeling that there's going to be a mistake here, and it's going to lead to a minor implosion that may result in either them splitting up or a power play by Strong to take the reign to the group, things like that down the line. But I think this is going to be the catalyst for a big implosion with UE. Ciampa wins.
Cool.
You think UE end up with no titles coming in next week's NXT?
Yes, I do.
I can't see that.
Interesting.
Probably, yeah, look, the likelihood is fuck all, but it's fantasy booking, mate, and I like it a bit different.
No, I was just asking,
Smoothman has gone for Ciampa. He hasn't given me a reason because not bad.
You're probably getting some now anyway.
Probably.
No,
Shall we just wait here in silence until Smooth? There we go. I slightly agree with Chris. Wasn't the reason why I picked him. I just picked one. Okay. So it's still not a reason. Not bad. Right. Fancy booking time. Finn Balor defeats Johnny Gargano. Right. To win that. you can put Finn Balor in a triple threat at Mania, or a fatal 4-way. Broserweights take the titles off UE. They then have a rematch on NXT, which people would think that UE are getting the titles back again to be like 10-time NXT champions, but they don't. The Broserweights retain. And at this point, it leads into what Matt said, where Adam Cole's like, fuck, I'm the last one with the gold. What the fuck are we going to do? Everyone's going to be panicking. Roddy's going to be all over the place. Red Dragon are going to be fuming. Then it comes to Ciampa versus Cole. I've gone for Tommaso Ciampa. I've gone massively risky on this one. Tommaso Ciampa to win via DQ. Adam Cole retains the title.
Ooh.
What do you hope to get extra points or something for putting that in?
No. It's whoever wins the match. That's why I've gone for Tommaso Ciampa.
Okay.
So, Adam Cole's panicking because he's the only one with gold now. After he's bigged up Undisputed Era being all the gold, he then gets this match, and the fans are getting so behind Ciampa. They're getting fully invested in it. Cole's panicking. He calls down the boys. The boys come down and accidentally DQ the match. Accidentally, quotation marks. Yeah. DQ the match. The fans of this is going to be main event. So to end the night on a DQ is a massive call.
That's why I don't think it's going to happen. When was the last time an NXT Takeover had a DQ finish to the main event?
I don't think it's that happened, but
I think Rhea is the main event.
The fans are fuming at this, and that gets heat onto Undisputed Era. But more importantly, it gets the fans properly behind Ciampa, hugely behind Ciampa, because I can't see a way Triple H would allow Ciampa getting pinned or submitted at this point. Because I fully believe at WrestleMania, whether it be TakeOver or at Mania, Ciampa's winning that belt against probably Cole, Balor, and you could probably make it a fatal 4-way if you want to. If you want to throw Gargano and have here's our 4 top guys, watch them have a really good match on the Mania card.
You've almost gone the way I'd gone, but before I had this as my finalised thing, I had UE retaining those tag titles, and I had Ciampa winning here, and I then had I booked Ciampa Gargano as the main event of. I
don't think the way I went that way is I don't think you can have the Red Dragon as being the tag team the last hold the gold. I think you need to have the head honcho to be the last to fall,
and that's why I changed it in the end. That was the one thing.
I can't see Ciampa getting pinned, because if he gets pinned by Adam Cole, how are you going to again justify him having that role?
If the other 3 come down and distract the referee whilst Cole smashes him in the head with the ring bell, because they've got to use the ring bell because AEW wants to use the ring bell, so they have to bring that into their shtick at the moment, or whatever weapon that he uses, or whether they three on one.
Then you've lost the aura of Ciampa being pinned. That's why I think he's going to be DQ'd. He's going to still be undefeated since his return. I think he's undefeated, or at least never looks like he's going to lose. He's right. Ciampa's still their top dog.
Yeah.
There's no other way. Ciampa is Triple H's boy. I think Triple H will want to protect Ciampa as much as possible.
I can see it, yeah.
And
I do love the whole set of ideas everyone's come up for how this is going to end, and that's what makes this more interesting.
Can I get an extra point for predicting the last 2 people in the ring as the takeover goes off the air?
You don't get an extra point, but you can go for it.
Triple H.
Could it be Rhea Charlotte's there now?
Potentially.
Charlotte,
I was tempted
main event,
to go.
And Charlotte will be in the ring squaring off with her and pointed at an imaginary Mania sign.
That would have been amazing had they not spunked their load on Charlotte coming to NXT 3 weeks ago.
No, but it's going to happen because obviously the whole thing, when every time Charlotte interacts with her, has been, you're looking through Bianca, blah, 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 and Rhea's response has been, I'm not, I'll do my best to get there. Is basically what Rhea's been saying, and I think it's going to end up with Rhea beating Bianca at the end of the night and Charlotte coming down, and there'll be that sort of competitive square off. And
I think Charlotte's definitely going to be there. I think she's going to be they do. Here's a wrestler in the crowd. That's going to be Charlotte during the women's match.
She may get in a spot on that.
Guaranteed.
If that's the case, then cool.
They're going to say Charlotte Flair's a dentist.
Fucking
She's
dentist.
No, they're gonna say
fucking
that's what do you call your fella? Fuck. That's Andrade's
Andrade.
girlfriend.
Anything else? Anyone else want to add anything?
Honestly, no. I'm happy.
I just like the fact that like we've all booked different ways of getting different matches at Mania. There's so many good matches that we can think of to have at Mania weekend that I'm just hyped for NXT.
What I'll do
after a pretty poor TV week.
I'm glad you're so enthusiastic about being wrong. Fantastic.
It doesn't matter. We don't have to worry about you, Toast. Matt just needs to worry about me and or Chris.
Toast, you're still relatively new here, but we've been. This is how we've done this for a long time. We get so hyped about things that never fucking happen.
I'm taking the piss, lads. Like I don't want to come off as if I'm a complete asshole. Like a lot of persons just taking the piss. Like.
I get it.
But what I will do is I'll post the our predictions on Twitter, like we usually do, and I'll post a table so you can all see how close I am to overtaking Matt, and why he's fuming. I would also do the guest league predictions. I'll do that. I'm living rent free. I will never get out.
So if Jack wins this one, Matt, are you gonna fucking freak out? Are you gonna be sitting stressing over your pay-per-view?
Yeah, bearing in mind that the next two pay-per-views are AEW Revolution, which I have absolutely no idea about any of the outcomes of most of the matches.
I have to win AEW, don't I? Oh,
and then we've got Chamber, and that might be it. Because obviously we don't do Saudi bullshit. I'm not confident.
I think we should add Saudi bullshit just to give Matt more obstacles to overcome.
No.
Yes.
No, because we haven't done any of the... You can't do that.
I think we did the first one because we did a big live show, didn't we?
And then we did... So we predicted it, and then we deleted that from... And nobody had to do a forfeit from it back when we did forfeits because we just went...
What if we start doing predictions on the matches that are forecast for AEW Weekly TV?
No.
Not in right, boys. Predictions. Cody Rhodes versus Wardlow. Still case,
Cody Rhodes.
But no, I'll do the table. If anything, if I don't win, Chris has to win. So no pressure, Chris. To at least draw with Matt.
Rent. Free.
Yeah, so if I win, I'm guaranteed at least half of the pot.
No, if you win...
I'm guaranteed
you're guaranteed all of it.
Oh yeah, because I go one above you. So if Chris wins, all three of us could draw.
Exactly. If I win, I'm only one behind you then with two to go.
And if Smoothman wins, me and you can draw.
Oh, I want the scenario now where three of you draw and you do big bottle.
We all do split money.
Oh, see, I didn't realize I was still within a shot of this. Right, okay, now I'm back in the game. Let's go.
Right, change my predictions quick.
The best thing is Chris has got the least matches predicted correctly, and he's still above Smoothman.
Which is weird because Chris had the most matches overall last season.
Last season I did.
Yeah, I'm 11 matches clear on matches, and I can still fucking bottle it.
That's the equivalent of goal difference.
It is. It's a massive goal difference in advantage of Matt, but he's potentially bottled. Matt is potentially pulling a leads. That's it. Whereas I'm the plucky Brentford underdog story coming out strong, and Chris is
Middlesbrough.
For a second, you were starting to support another fucking team.
Probably, mate. Right. I think that's everything. No one else wants to add anything before I do big outro where Toast shouts. Power slam or whatever.
I would like to say something, right? And I've been thinking about it for a couple of weeks now, and just Benoit was framed.
It's surprising because I tend to agree with what people say about that. But yeah, Benoit was framed.
I'm telling you, from my background, I'm getting a picture of Benoit in a frame, and I'm just going to start pointing to it.
Right. If you did enjoy that, it's going to be on YouTube. Well, subscribe to our YouTube. Do you subscribe on Apple Podcasts?
Yeah,
follow.
You do.
Do all that. Follow SoundCloud. Just type in Bad Bookers. You can find us anywhere.
It's brought to you by Manscaped and Blue Chew and what else?
Manscaped, thank you for the sponsor, as well as our actual sponsors, Power Slam. Use code Bad Bookers for a free month of indie wrestling goodness. I think that's what Smoothman says, isn't it? Something like that. Follow us on Twitter at BadBookersWP. There won't be live tweets unless someone else does it, because I'll be
fucking me.
So Chris will be asleep in about 5 minutes.
Yep, you'd love to see it.
At Bad Bookers for that. If you want to support us over on Patreon, give us some
Money?
Money. give me your fucking wallet. You can do. Obviously, there's no obligation to, but Matt will stab you if you don't.
Why am I getting called the aggressive one?
I don't know, because you've been very negative this podcast. We've been called you out on it.
You're negative, Nancy.
But I think that's covered everything. I think that's put everything. So I'd like to say goodbye. You won't hear me next week. It'll be Smoothman back once again next week, unless he bottles again.
We didn't talk about Lacey Evans this week.
Oh,
This
good.
generation.
Bye.
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 Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 4,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 110 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.